In October 2019, a robbery unfolded inside a retail store when a man entered and demanded money from the cashier. As the cashier gathered cash, the intruder made a critical mistake by placing his weapon on the counter while focusing on the register. Seeing an opportunity, the cashier acted quickly and used the moment to protect himself, causing the robber to panic and flee the store. The suspect briefly returned in confusion, but left again without taking anything further, and authorities were later notified. While the robbery ended without injury, experts strongly warn that handling weapons during moments of high stress is extremely dangerous. Sudden movements, accidental discharge, or panic reactions can turn a survivable situation into a tragic one. Safety professionals consistently advise compliance when threatened, using silent alarms where available, and relying on security systems, surveillance cameras, and rapid police response rather than personal confrontation. In June 2022, a quiet moment inside a small store was disrupted when an armed intruder entered and threatened both an elderly customer and the shop owner. He forced them behind the counter, believing he had full control of the situation. Moments later, the store owner reacted, and the intruder fled the store immediately. Police were contacted, and no one was seriously harmed. Although the threat was stopped, security experts emphasize that sudden reactions involving weapons inside enclosed spaces can place everyone at risk, including customers and bystanders. Loud noises, panic, or accidental discharge can cause severe harm even when intentions are defensive. The safest approach during a robbery is to remain calm, avoid confrontation, and prioritize survival. Preventive measures such as protective barriers, panic buttons, controlled cash access, and visible surveillance systems are proven to reduce harm far more reliably than physical resistance. At a fuel station in Brazil, a man was confronted by individuals attempting to take his vehicle. The encounter escalated quickly as the suspects moved closer, creating a dangerous and unpredictable situation. In an effort to protect himself, the man reacted in a way that startled the attackers, causing them to retreat and abandon the attempt. Although the incident ended without injury, experts caution that fuel stations are extremely high-risk environments. Flammable materials, moving vehicles, and confined spaces mean even small actions can lead to severe consequences. Safety professionals advise remaining inside your vehicle when possible, keeping doors locked, staying alert to approaching vehicles, and leaving the area if something feels wrong. Avoid confrontation whenever possible and seek populated or well-lit areas where help can be accessed quickly. In 2014 in the United States, a group of intruders targeted the home of a military veteran, believing it would be an easy crime. Instead, the homeowner was alert and prepared, and the intruders quickly fled after realizing the situation was no longer in their favor. The incident ended without further escalation, and authorities were alerted. While training and experience played a role in this outcome, home invasion scenarios are among the most dangerous and unpredictable situations anyone can face. Law enforcement professionals consistently advise civilians to avoid direct confrontation whenever possible. Securing doors and windows, installing alarm systems, using safe rooms, and contacting emergency services are far safer and more reliable methods of protection. In any robbery situation, survival and personal safety should always come before property or confrontation. In January 2021 in Brazil, a robbery attempt inside a small store took an unexpected turn. An armed individual forced his way in and pushed the store owner into a restroom after hearing approaching footsteps. Trying to avoid suspicion, he told a customer entering the store that the owner had stepped out. Moments later, the situation changed. The store owner reappeared from behind, and with the customer's help, they managed to restrain the suspect and call for assistance. The robbery ended without further harm. While teamwork helped stop this incident, Experts strongly warn that confronting an armed individual is extremely dangerous and unpredictable. The safest response during a robbery is to stay calm, avoid sudden movements, and comply with demands when necessary. Stores are better protected through silent alarms, reinforced barriers, security cameras, and rapid police response. Property can be replaced, but lives cannot. Prioritizing safety over confrontation remains the best defense in most robbery situations. In June 2021, a man briefly left his vehicle parked, only to see it being taken moments later. Acting on instinct, he followed the thief, who panicked during the escape and crashed into another vehicle nearby. The collision brought the situation to a halt, allowing the owner to restrain the suspect until authorities arrived. The stolen car was recovered, and the incident ended without further escalation. Despite this outcome, safety professionals caution against chasing vehicle thieves. Pursuits can quickly turn dangerous due to high speeds, traffic, possible weapons, or additional accomplices. Law enforcement consistently advises victims to prioritize personal safety, observe details from a distance, and contact authorities immediately instead of engaging directly. Preventive measures such as locking vehicles, avoiding leaving cars unattended, using tracking systems, and parking in well-lit areas significantly reduce risk. Quick reporting and awareness are far safer than attempting to recover property through pursuit. In November 2019, intruders broke into a home believing it was unoccupied. They were mistaken. The homeowner reacted quickly, and the intruders fled almost immediately, abandoning the break-in attempt. The incident ended without further confrontation, and authorities were notified soon after. Although the response stopped the intrusion, experts emphasize that reacting under stress inside a home carries serious risks. Confusion, misidentification, and unintended harm can occur within seconds. For most homeowners, prevention is the safest strategy. Security lighting, alarm systems, reinforced doors, surveillance cameras, and secure rooms significantly reduce danger. If a break-in occurs, finding a safe location, avoiding confrontation, and contacting emergency services is strongly recommended. Property loss is temporary, but personal safety is permanent. Proper planning and layered security provide far more reliable protection than split-second reactions during a crisis. In December 2021 in Jamaica, a robbery attempt unfolded inside a store when an armed individual entered expecting immediate compliance. While issuing threats at the counter, he failed to notice someone positioned behind it. In a sudden turn of events, the situation ended abruptly, and the robbery failed. Authorities were later contacted, and no further harm occurred. While the threat was neutralized, security experts warned that gunfire or sudden confrontation in enclosed spaces is extremely dangerous. Missed shots, ricochets, and panic can put innocent people at risk. The safest approach during a robbery is to remain calm, avoid provoking the situation, and comply when necessary. Long-term safety relies on prevention, silent alarms, clear sight lines, surveillance systems, limited cash access, and fast police response. Protecting lives should always take priority over protecting property, especially in high-stress situations. A group of women were chatting along a public street walkway when two men on a motorcycle suddenly approached and began intimidating them, attempting to rob them in broad daylight. The situation quickly drew attention as nearby locals noticed something was wrong. Within seconds, people moved toward the scene, making it clear the suspects were exposed and outnumbered. Realizing they no longer had control, the men abandoned the attempt and fled without taking anything. While community awareness helped stop this incident, experts caution that crowd confrontations can quickly turn dangerous. Sudden movements, panic, or weapons can escalate situations unexpectedly. Safety professionals recommend staying alert in public spaces, avoiding isolated areas, moving in groups when possible, and creating distance instead of engaging. If threatened, seek well-lit areas, attract attention verbally if safe, and contact authorities immediately. Property can be replaced, but personal safety should always come first. On February 2021, in Nairobi, Kenya, a robber entered a store and pointed what appeared to be a firearm directly at the owner, demanding compliance. For a moment, the threat seemed real and dangerous. Shortly after, the owner realized the weapon was not genuine. Sensing the shift in confidence, the robber panicked and attempted to flee. The owner chased him out, stopping the robbery before anything was taken. Although this incident ended without injury, experts strongly warn against testing whether a weapon is real or fake. Mistakes in judgment can be fatal, especially under stress. Law enforcement advises full compliance during robbery attempts, avoiding pursuit, and prioritizing survival. Preventive measures such as security cameras, panic buttons, barriers, and rapid police response are far safer than confrontation. Property is replaceable, but lives are not, and safety should always be the top priority.